And I would like to introduce Reverend Blake Spencer.
Thank you. I love the UU Church because we do. We love you because you are so quick to gather and respond. I love my Presbyterian families. We're passionate, but we take time to plan. And we're well-intentioned, but it would be next week that we would have the vigil because we have to approve it. So I'm very, very glad to be here, and I am Blake Spencer. I'm the pastor of Ocean Heights Presbyterian Church in Egg Harbor Township. I wanted to share with you some personal things and some words that I have think that are very, very important for us to speak. First of all, I wanted you to know a little bit about me. My son is black, as are his wife and 2 sons. My son-in-law is a dreamer, a DACA, brought over the Mexican border as a toddler and now desires more than anything to be safe as he studies astrophysics and not be separated from his wife and daughter. And no, marriage does not equate citizenship. He fears having to go to a country he never lived in. Many have said there's nothing for him to fear, but none of us are living in his shoes, and my son-in-law and daughter fear. I am gay and am very fortunate and blessed that I have a family that accepts and loves me, and though many things have shifted in our country for LGBTQ folk, I live with constant fear in this political environment. What happened this past weekend hit me and my family on a lot of different levels. And I'm here to come and talk to you from my life story and hope that what some of the things I have to say might resonate in your life story, even though we may be very different. In the last few days, I've turned to the words and life of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who spoke and lived during the reign of German Nazism. Dietrich Bonhoeffer is a Reformed Christian minister. He lost his life for speaking against the hate and terrorism of Nazi Germany. I'm thankful for the courage and faith and wisdom this man spoke and lived. His words continue to be relevant. He said before the Nazis in his day, silence in the face of evil is evil itself. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. And though I'm proud to be in the same faith tradition as Dietrich Bonhoeffer, I'm ashamed to say that over the last 30 years, we in the corner of the Christian church where I serve have not boldly spoken against the realities of racism in our country. We've instead chosen comfort over and above anything else. Comfort because we've continued to decline in our national membership, and we fear losing more members, so we've soft-pedaled our words and our ministry so as not to offend anyone who comes into our church buildings. We have diligently worked to keep those within the walls of our religious institution comfortable, even when it has meant that outside the walls of our churches, there are many who are uncomfortable and have been suffering. When we fail to speak in the face of what is ugly, we become ugly. Failing to boldly stand against hatred means we become an integral part of that hatred. And that is a hard reality to swallow, especially when violence like we've witnessed in Charlottesville this past weekend. Failing to recognize and admit the privilege that comes with life in white, middle American, suburban life has cost us dearly, as our neighbors who are not like us have had to live entirely different realities. We cannot ignore the privilege that has been ours. The privilege of turning off the news when we become uncomfortable. The privilege of going on with life as usual in the aftermath of racist terrorism because our neighborhoods might be safe. The privilege of saying what we saw on Saturday is not part of our America. Privilege is the very wall that has already been constructed, a wall that creates animosity and fear on both sides, a wall that we need to systematically dismantle once and for all, starting now. May this vigil be for us. Thank you. May this vigil be for us not only a moment to voice our dismay and disgust for white supremacy and their terroristic acts. Let us make a bond. Let us reach out to each other beyond our religious and non-religious convictions, beyond our ethnic, racial, and sexual identities, beyond any of the differences that exist between us. Let us make a bond tonight to speak and act and love and then do it all over again until racism is uprooted. May this vigil not only honor those who showed up this past weekend to counter-protest, but let our gathering be a continuation of their passion and fervor to establish a more perfect union where respect and compassion for one another is the priority of our lives. Thank you.